and you're going to click on Heikin Ashi. This is going to close all those gaps and give you all your information on your candles, okay? Next thing we're going to go over is the indicators. So this is where you utilize your different indicators. The most famously used one is probably the RSI, the MACD, and the EMA, okay? So, or just the MA, you know, the moving averages. Those three are most commonly used. I honestly don't use those anymore, but I will look for certain things, something like a MACD crossover for bullish movement. That just means I added to the chart so you can see. So you'll click on, so you put out MACD, M-A-C-D, yes. Let's click on it here. So as you see, the MACD is going to pop up on the bottom, and we're just waiting for the information to pop up. So something that, a real quick tip, what I use when it comes to these charts, I make sure I switch the colors of the MACD. So you see how it's blue and red or orange, right? So blue is when it's bullish, right? So we all know bullish and bearish is red and green. So instead of me leaving it blue, I just click on here, double click on it, and I will switch to blue. And I'll switch to green, okay? It's just easier for me to see. And then I'll take the orange and I just turn it red. So I will switch to blue and orange to red and green, okay? Now you see here, once it crossed over here, you look up on your chart directly, you see the bullish movement up here, okay? So that is a MACD crossover for bullish movement, okay? So there's a way to look at different stocks and see this right away. There's a different platform that I'm also going to show you how you can look up a bunch of stocks at the same time and see these different type of movements, okay? But that is the bullish MACD crossover. And give me 1 second while I let this load up. But that's what I would do looking at this, and also is a good indication for when the stock is going to go down. So we're going to come over here. So you see how I even marked this up also. So you see how it got this resistance at the top of the green line, and once it crossed over here to the red, if you go up directly on your stock, you see the same thing happen here. Now you have this bearish movement, okay? So you can utilize this indicator for that. It's easier to see when the stock is going to go up or down and when it's going to switch. So that's what I use the MACD for. When it comes to another indicator, I'm going to take the MACD off and just show you the RSI. Just so you see it. So that's the MACD. It's a really good indicator a lot of people use. The next indicator that a lot of people use is the RSI. So these are the two indicators that pop up on the bottom of your chart, okay? So this is one of the golden rules when it comes to this indicator, right? So 30 or so close to 30 and below 30 is a great time to buy the stock, right? 70, which is right here, and above is a good indication of when to sell the stock, right? So 70 and above is overbought. 30 and below, or close to 30 and below, is oversold. Okay, I mean, a lot of people sold the stock, and it's a good time to look into buying it now. Okay, so that's the indication you're going to get with that specifically. We're going to go over some more. So you see here, right? So it got some resistance right here at the same time. So if you looked at the MACD and got more confirmation with RSI, you would have seen that this was about to reverse and go down instead of still going up. So that's what you see right here. So you see it got to this peak on the RSI, and then it started to go down, okay? So you use a bunch of different confirmations. So you use the support and resistance lines on the chart at the top, and I'm going to show you that next, and use the indicators as confirmations. So you can have multiple confirmations on when to sell your stock, or multiple confirmations of when to get into your trade, get out of your trade, when to jump on a call, or to jump into a put, okay? So I'm going to show you some support and resistance lines. I'm going to take off the RSI. So me as an investor, the first thing I see is this right here, all right? So I'm going to go over the support and resistance next, but I just want to show you what I see. So if I just jumped into this chart, I would see head and shoulders. So there's a shoulder right here, head, shoulder, which is a bearish indication, right? So I will see that. Also, before that is a W, right? So if you see a W, that is a double bottom. So there's a bottom down here and a bottom down here, right? These are the shapes and setups that you see on the charts after a while. So once I know it's a W here, I know this is the neckline right here. Once it goes above here, over here, it's going to continue to go up. So certain things like that is what you learn over time when you can just look at your chart and see these things. But I'm going to give you the support and resistance lines so you can use those as more confirmations, okay? So to get the lines, the horizontal lines, you will click here. Click the ellipses on it first. So this is where you get your trend lines. I use the horizontal lines, and I use the horizontal rays, okay? Those are the three indicators that I use, or tools that I use on my charts to mark up my charts. So I'm going to start with the horizontal lines, and you always want to start on the left of your charts, okay? So I'm on the day time frame, I'm on the left of my chart, and I'm looking at the resistance here, the top of this wick, okay, right? So you see, I'm only looking here. I'm only looking here. But if I go straight across from my chart, I get this resistance right here with the candle close, this support right here, you go above, this support, the candles above it, this close just above it. You see this, right? It becomes more fluid over time. So you get this resistance at the top, this resistance right here, this resistance right here, closed below it, went down, still struggle to get above here, struggle to get above here. Once it closed above here and moved up, but it didn't move much. Once it got to this candle over here, closed below it again, it goes down. It goes all the way down, so we get this double bottom again. Then we get this resistance right here. So I'm going to add that neckline so you see that also. So, you know, I guess we're seeing like, how did he see that? So I'm just adding it here because this is where the double bottom is forming. I'm going to add this here, and then I'm going to go to the left of my chart, okay? So you see I'm only looking right here, but if I went all the way across, is this resistance right here, this support right here, this support right here, go straight across, this resistance right here, go over. Basically trying to touch here, bounce off here, you know, it didn't fully get to here, so you know it's going back up. Support right here, this just had a wick out. The wick went above it, but the body of the candle stayed above. It stayed above, almost closed above, almost closed below, almost definitely closed below, went down, right? Came across again, closed above here, so it continued to go up. You start to see it on the chart. So I was only here for this neckline. So I know in the future, when the stock closes above here, again, it's going to go up. So I'm utilizing these charts to make sure I'm looking at my trades versus just guessing. Now, it's easy to look at this and say, okay, cool, this is clear because you see the W and you see the head and shoulders. I want something a little harder, okay? So I'm going to pick a different stock just to switch it up. Okay, everybody loves Tesla, so we probably go to Tesla next. Keep it simple. And then I go to someone that's more simple, like a Facebook or like AMD or something like that. Those are some really good ones to keep on your watch list. So as you see, I got Tesla fully marked up. I just show you what I see so you know what it is that I'm looking at. So as we said before, right, so the W is an indication that it's going to go up. So an M is the reverse of that. It's an indication that it's going to go down, okay? So as you see here, we got the resistance at the top of here, the support right here, go over. It touched the same line, touch the same line, touch the same line, touch the same line, closed above it, all the way up here, closed above it, all the way up here, closed above it, went all the way up here, okay? So it bounced right here. This is the neckline. Went up here, had the resistance, stopped at the same waves, and then now we had a falling wedge. So like we're saying, even with the patterns, there's charts that you can look at. There's cheat sheets that you look at. You don't have to know this, word for word, or actually see it exactly. But you can use your cheat sheet. So whenever I see something like this, I say, okay, cool, this looks like this. Let me Google it. I Google it, I see what it is, and then I make sure I add it to my tool belt, because I know, okay, this investment, it just needs to break this trend line right here. Once it breaks this trend, there's going to be some bullish movement. And as you see, this was my old indication for a call. This is my indication for a put, because I wanted to see if it broke out that triangle. And we were on the live chat when we were doing this trade. So all this information was given to everybody on the live chat for this specific option, okay? So like I said, Tesla bounces off its support a lot. It's known for that. So it's a great way to make a lot of money off of this that way, okay? So like I said, it could go from $1,000 to $905. That's exactly what it did. Look, as you see, 905.67 was the entry for the put option. It never went that low. And then closed above the entry for the call option. So since it closed above the entry for the call option, now we're looking for target prices, because it did what it needed to do on here. And then now we're looking at this as the candle go up. We're like, okay, cool. It got to about this wick, and then I'm looking at the other wicks right here, right, to get the confirmations. But not just here. We go all the way across. I'm looking at this support. So I'm saying, okay, cool. If it closed above here, this is the first target price right here. And I got that from the left of my chart. I go across again. Okay, I'm like, okay, I already see this is the next level of, well, you want to see here because that's the future. But you go to the left of the chart. So where you go again, right? This is the information I have here. The most touches of the bodies of the candles, I'm not really worried about the wicks, because the wicks are the highs and lows of this investment. So I'm looking for the bodies. The bodies are going to give me more of a confirmation. So I say, okay, this is where I need to stay above. This is the first target price. If it continues to goes up, I need to stay above right here. If you look at this, it went all the way up here, closed down here, came back down, but then this would have been the next day to enter for the call option, and it closed exactly where the bodies of these candles were. So I know exactly where to jump in my trade. Then it's the same thing. You look at the left for your next target prices. So this is the entry for the call. This will be about this area, will be the entry for your first target price. So about 956 to about 965, which is a roughly $9. You do the right option, you could have made $900 off that one trade and jumped out of it. And then you would have seen it. But if you were looking at your chart, you would have seen the candles were strong and it was still going up, okay? So from that $900, you would have seen the next target price would have been up here. So from that 950, we just leave it at 950 so it's easier, mathematically. And it went to 975. So now, that same day, your stock went up $25, right? From the time that we called this trade the day before at 905 or 921 to jump into the call, now it's at 974. That's $50, right? You would have made, well, $54. You would have made roughly $5,400 on the Tesla option call. But instead of looking at the price of the stock going up, you're looking at the candles. So you're still seeing these candles are strong. They're still going up. So that's what I'm going to pay attention to. So not just the candles going up and they're strong. I'm looking over here. Okay, this was the last time I had some support. This is where the body of this candle closed. I go straight across. This wick touch here, this wick touch here, and this candle closed above here. So that is my next target price. So my next target price will be 981. If you look here, the candle is still strong. The same one candle, still strong. So, okay, I say, what is my next target price after it goes there? Because you're looking at your chart while the stock is going up, and you're getting all this information, and now you want to see, okay, should I stay in this trade? Should I jump out this trade? The chart will let you know when to jump out the trade. So you went from 921 to now where we're at now. So that's all the way up already. We're almost at $1,000. So that's $80 on an option. This is the same day. That's roughly $8,000 from one call option on Tesla. But it's still going up. So you can say, I spent $2,000, I made $8,000 in one day. Let me jump on my trade. Or you can look at the chart, and the chart is telling you the candle is still strong. So the candle is still going up. So it goes from 921 to the top of this week at 1,017. So now roughly you made about $10,000 off this one trade. Now you're saying, should I jump out? Should I stay in? Should I get out? I made enough for the day. Or you can look at the charts. Look at the charts. Once it breaks that resistance at the top again, it's still going up. And then you're like, okay, I need to stay above this next resistance line. At $1,029, $1,029, right? And it goes above that again. So now you're roughly up $1,200, $1,300 in this trade. Well, $12,000, $13,000 in this trade. So you're like, do I jump out this trade or do I stay in? Now, if you're looking at your chart, you know you can still stay in this trade. But if you're not looking at your chart, you're like, I made $13,000 a day. I made $12,000 a day. I made $1,200 a day. You know, depending on the option you did, I'm jumping out. I made way more than enough for the day. And then you see here, this is where the candle closed, but it reached all the way up here within this day. So it went up from $92. Well, no. So this is the next day, right? So it went up from $956 all the way to $1,070. So $121 went up in one day. Now, if I was looking at the charts, I would have seen, this is what you see, right? Because you don't know perfectly when to jump out of your trade. There's no perfect science to it. But I'm going to look. This is my resistance from over here, right? This is the support that I've seen. This is the support that I've seen. This is the resistance that I've seen. This is the top of this wick. So that's why I marked that up there before. So I know if it doesn't close above, right, it gets to this wick and it starts to go back down, I know why. It didn't close above here. It's starting to fall back again. I know this was another, now old resistance become new support. So resistance is on the top of your candles and support is on the bottom of your candles. So I'm looking at this. This is where the wick went to, and then it came to this level again and went down again, and then it came to this level and it finally closed, right? But if I said, okay, this is the next level, next target price, if it doesn't close above here, I'm jumping out. I done made $120 in a day off the stock. If I just bought the stock, I could jump out the stock. $120 a day is still good money. In the option, I would have made a bunch of money, you know, roughly $10,000 and change, depending on the option that I did, how in the money I did the contract. You could have made about $10,000 off this one trade in one day, then go about your day. And you're utilizing this instead of just looking at the stock price go up and down. So then it's the next day. So the body of the candle closed here. It goes all the way down here, right? So you're like, okay, if I would have swung this trade and it opened up here, I would have lost my money, right? So, but I need to see what this candle does so I can stay in it. When it finally starts to go back up, it passes all these levels of resistance again, even this level, right? The old resistance, new support. Now look, it closed above here also. This level is, okay, cool. How do you know the stock is going to go from this price to this price? Well, I'm only going to the left of my charts. And I see this support here, the 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 resistance right here, all the way across in the top of this wick. That information is what I see, and what I know from that information is when to stay in my trade, to jump out of my trade, or what should I do next. So that's why it's so important to learn the charts when it comes to doing your options trade. And I never, ever, when I do my watch list, and everybody's always asking me, why do you have calls and put on your list, because if this stock goes up here for the day and then close all the way down here, so it goes to, say it's at $965, and it goes all the way down to this triangle, exactly, and it goes down $50, why not take that? Why not take that $5,000 on the way down? Why leave that money on the table? Or if I want to jump in at a good time to get a share of Tesla, I'm going to get it $50 cheaper because I'm looking at my chart and knowing to jump in for a trade. So that's why it's so important to learn your charts versus just jumping into trades. That's really gambling. You know, you don't want to gamble in your trades. And like I said, this is not perfect science. This is higher probability trades. But the charts are about, 90%, 95% accurate, you know. And once you learn it, you have a good method and steady, consistent studying and habits when it comes to learning this stuff, you're going to do really well in your trades, okay? So I'm going to show you another example of a stock. Do anybody want to give me a request, and I could just go over one? That one is not done already, so you can see it with fresh eyes.
Shop.
Huh?
Shopify.
Oh, I started with Shopify already. Give me another one.
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook.
I got you. So look, just so y'all know too, right? Like I said, I share all my information with y'all. I don't hide nothing from y'all. These are the plays that I look at every single day. And as you see, Chipotle, right? Chipotle down $13. Roughly with options, for every dollar it moves up or down, roughly you make about $100. And that's all depending on the grease as well. But for example, we're gonna say every time it goes up or down it's $100. So this is $1,300, you know, on the way down. $2,400 on the way down. $500 on the way down. $1,900 on the way up. Well, yeah, you know, on the way up. It's a bunch of money to be made in options. But we're gonna click on Facebook. Facebook is a really good one. As you've seen, I just bought the Oculus. So I'm going to try to do these type of things also within the Oculus platform on the metaverse. So it's more inclusive and more creative. But that's the next thing I'm going to integrate with this. But as you see here, right, I already have my support and resistance lines marked up. But, you know, what's the first thing I see here? I see a big W, you know, and this is the neckline. I'm waiting for it to go above. That's why these are, so just so you see, the white lines on this side is my entries for my call and my puts, right? Now, this line is going off of this here. So this is how I know to jump in this call. And like I said, my resistance is right here, right? This is my resistance, this is my support. That's the entry price. So perfectly aligned up right here, okay? So like I said, top of these wicks, you want to get the most touches, so you want to get perfectly this one, and this one, or a bunch of touches on this side, which it did, okay? And you got this also. But like I said, I could have got it in Facebook right here. Seeing Facebook about this level, I already had it marked up for my first target price. It didn't close above, and then it started to go down. I could jump out my trade, and let's see how much I would have made. So we're starting at $348. And it's going to 352, roughly $500 or $600 real quick in a day, and go about my day. You know, jump out my trade and look at something else. And or I could say it hit the resistance level. I don't think it's going back up. I can get a put right here and get it on the way down. So, you know, there's a bunch of ways to make a lot of money when it comes to your options. I'm gonna close this a little more so you see what I'm seeing back here. So Facebook was on a big, it respected this big trend on the way up. Now you see this bullish flag right here. Once it broke this flag, it went up. When it got to about this area here, you see it bounced off this trend line. So, you know, when it got to right here, close, stayed above, bounced here, broke, right? So look, open this up so you see it. So it closed below the trend and started to fall. Now, something I see right away here is what you see, another W, right? So this is why this is the neckline right here. The most touches, it closes above it, it goes up. So this is the type of thing you start to see over time with your charts. So you start to see more information. You start to see more ways to jump in your trade, jump out of your trade. You get all this information within one day, from your trading, from doing your trades. And once you start to get familiar with your charts, you can make a watch list and look at certain stocks daily and make a lot of money on the way up or down. Remember, a call is betting the market is going up, and a put is betting the stock is going down. So you can bet with or against the market and still make a bunch of money. So when I send somebody a stock and I show them it's down $24, they're like, damn, you think I should buy it? I'm like, no, it was great for a put option. So that's why when I put out these free watch lists for everybody, I'm showing you a bunch of ways to make money on the way up and down. So now, roughly, right, if you're making $1,000 a day trading options, there's 250 trading days in a year. So you're making roughly $250,000 from doing quick, small trades from your phone. You can make six figures a year just doing trades, or you could do $100. You don't have to be 1,000, but you can make a good amount of money just from your phone. And it's possible for everybody. That's extra $25,000. A year to the side. You can cover. So another trick too, when it comes to investing, you want to make sure it covers your bills. So you want to calculate your bills for the year, and if you can make your investment money cover your bills and your check, you can keep it, you can live a good life. If your bills are roughly $3,000 a month, and you can make, $3,000 in a week, basically your bills are covered within that week, and then now you just have to trade for a certain lifestyle. You want to travel, you want to go on vacation, you want to eat certain type of foods, you want to buy certain material things that you like. It's all possible, but learning how to trade is more important than just throwing your money into the market, throwing your money into crypto, throwing your money. That's not I would never tell people to do that stuff. So I'm literally teaching you the proper ways of how to utilize the market versus just saying, oh yeah, buy this stock because I think it's going to go up. No, any stock can go up or down. So within that same day of any stock, you can make a bunch of money. So like you see here, it broke this trend on the way up, closed below the trend, went down. This is the neckline over here. It closed below the neckline, so you know it's still going down. This is the next area, right? This small channel right here. You see it, these wicks right here. You go straight across, so you mark this up. You see it closed here, but it didn't fully close above here. So since you know that, it gapped down. Boom. See this here. Same thing here. This is the level of resistance and support. Go straight across here. The wick touch here. Go straight across. It closed below it. Continues to go down. You're literally using all the information from the left. The top of these wicks, the top of this body, the support right here. Go right across. The wicks right here. The wicks right here. Support. Go straight across. It doesn't close above it, right? Not in a strong way. It goes down. You get all this information from your charts over and over and over and over again. So you want to make sure you have a good list of certain stocks to look at. Use that information and take advantage of that information so you can make really smart investments, okay? So like I said, I can tell people, I think this stock is going to do well. I think this crypto is going to do well. But if I'm showing you the charts with it and you understand exactly what I see, it's going to be a lot easier for you to maximize your investments, okay? I'm going to show y'all with another stock.
Well, I had a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you tell me what the wicks mean? I think I can guess, but I missed that part. Like
so remember the wicks, the highs and lows.
Of that moment, of that day, or just
of that day, depending on the chart. Using the time frame. So the time, if it's a day candle, within that day, that is the high and the low of the day.
Okay, got it. And so the chart we're looking at now, for example, what's the time frame on that?
This is the daytime frame. Remember, so first you see your stock, then you see a time frame, then you pick your candles. Okay, so you want to set up this stuff first before you do any of this stuff down here. So since I know I'm looking at the day time frame, I know each candle represents one day. So this is the high of the day, and this is where the stock closed at. This is where it opened. This is where it closed. This was the high of the day.
Got it. What was the open and close again? And then I'm done asking questions.
Oh yeah. You know, like I said, no problem. All right, so you see, right? See the bottom of this candle is open. It opened here. It closed where the body is, and the wick is how high it went to that day. So it got to up here, and everybody started cashing out. You know, they made a bunch of money. And then started to go down, started to go down, started to go down. It's 4 o'clock, and it closed right here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. But like I said, learning this stuff is what makes you a good investor. I don't gamble. I don't guess no more. I used to. I didn't learn the charts of this year. You know, I learned the charts in March of this year, to be exact. You know, and I just do it every single day. I look the same stocks every single day. I look this stuff before I go to sleep, and I get the information for what I want to use, right? So now I'm gonna switch it to this is another platform, so y'all know. So this is charts.cointrader.pro. Okay, this is for crypto. Now the reason I use this instead of TradingView is because on TradingView they don't have some of the newer cryptos, and they don't have some of the history of the crypto. Okay, so as you see here, I mark up my support and resistance, of course. That's the first thing you want to do is set up your support and resistance. Set your trend. So you see, I see this was the trend on the way down. On the way down, it closed above here, which it did, and went up, right? You needed to close above this resistance line, which it did. It stayed within this channel. Then it went above, struggled to get it back here. Now it's going back down. So learning this stuff the same way with your stocks and your crypto is a good indication for your coins, right? So say you have certain coins you want to hold long term anyway, but you don't want to take those losses as much as possible. Well, you're looking at your charts and you're seeing the stock, your coin is starting to fall. Your coin is at the peak. This is, let me add some more resistance lines just so we have it so you can see exactly where it jumped out. So I'm looking at this. This got a lot of touches right here, so I will put this here, right? As you see, this candle right here, the wick, right? The wick closed below it, right? And I can even move it down a little bit more if I wanted to. So about here, but I'm gonna leave that one up there. Then I say, okay, I'm gonna get the bottom of these wicks, right? I need a couple wick touches, so I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4. I need all these touching. So, right, I'm gonna put that here. But when I do that, I get this candle, the body of this candle, this wick as support, this wick as support touching, right? This wick doesn't close below above, right? It's on it, but this one closed below it, right? So now I know it's gonna start going down again. So then I'm saying, okay, I need to stay above this, right? I can get the top up here, right? I'll move this up so you see it. So I need to go above the bodies over here in these wicks, right? I need to close above here. Now that's a big gap on the way down, right? But because this big candle here printed, so this is the choppy way on the way down. So this is the resistance over here. I need this to stay above here, which it didn't. It goes down. Same thing here. This is the next support. Come over, come over, come over. Once it finally closes below it, it goes down. Same thing here. The wicks right here touching. Go over, go over, go over. Do the same thing. Close below it, it goes down. You're getting all the information from your charts from the left, you know, and then, for example, this is Polkadot, right? For example, Polkadot has been here before. So I could have went all the way back a year, marked up my chart, then came back to the present date, and I would have had a lot of my support and resistance lines marked up already. So you always want to start with the left of your chart.
What tool is that you're using to create that those bounce points?
Oh, so these right here, so okay, I'll show you because I actually got to set this up. So these are my horizontal lines, right? So basically, I just changed the color. You see up here, I switched the width of it, and then I switched it to the bar. So this is how I look regular. Switch it back to. I want to do this. I'm going to double click on one of these first. So if I did it, it would be like this, right? Just a line, plain line, right? But I like to see it as this because, let's take this one off. I like to see it like this because I get more information. You know, I want to see in between where it's going, you know? So that's how you do it. So you basically, once you, there's the horizontal lines on this side. I should click it again. So it's the horizontal lines. Then when you get it here, it's going to be like teal and skinny and solid. And then you just like double click on it, change the color. And then you can change how you want your lines to be, dashes, dotted lines, like that. If you want it even more, it'd be like that. But, it's so much that it kind of look like a full line. So I do the dashes. But that's what I use to look at it.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, look, this is a free class. Nobody got paid for nothing. All I ask is if you're learning something, do me a favor. Just take a picture of the class that we're doing and post it on your story and just let everybody know, the free game is legit. That's all I ask. No money, just, I want people to know that we actually trying to share this information with people. So thank y'all. But this is exactly how I do it. I set up my charts before I do anything. So if I wanted to get into Polkadot, I would say, well, okay, is that the level of support right here? Do I want to jump in now? And if it gets to about this area again, from $28 to about $32, I could jump in, jump out. Throw a bunch of money into it right here when you get to this level, because there's a lot of touches. Boom. Went up here, closed above here. Got the resistance right here, closed above. Got the resistance right here, closed above. Got the resistance up here, closed above, stayed above, did the same thing, kept doing the same thing. So it's getting the information in your charts. All that information, taking advantage of that information, and just maximizing your investments. So this is how you do it, though. You look at the charts. If you just look at the price of a stock or a coin, you're gonna like go crazy. What's a coin y'all want to look at? I can do a fresh one for you.
Can you do Chainlink?
Yeah, I got you.
Dang.
So you want to put, just like you did with the stock, you want to put the coin up here, and you want to pick USD, okay? Because if you pick Bitcoin, it's going to go off the Bitcoin price, and it's going to look a lot different. Okay, so I pick USD. So, all right, the first thing I see is this strong trend line on the way down, right? So I'm going to add that, so I see this strong trend on the way here. I could add it all the way here if I wanted to. Probably add it here. So it's this big, strong trend. Once it broke it and went up, I can go back. I see the W right here. This is the resistance line, right? Oh, I'll just do it real quick too so y'all see. So when I do this stuff, I look at it fast because I don't have time. Crypto moves so fast that you'll miss the money, trying to overanalyze it. So look, I'm going to open it up so y'all see, and I'm going to just do it as we talking. So this resistance line, close below it, right? Finally close above it, same thing here. Close below it, went down, touch, bunch of touches, but that's the W that we need. So when you're looking for a double top or double bottom, which is here, right? So I would circle here, see this is the neckline. Once it closes above it, as it did here, it goes up. Came back down, bounced off the same line, right? Went back up again. So you would have known, okay, cool. If it gets to this is where I bought it at, right? You always know, okay, I jumped in at the neckline. This is where I bought it at. Do I want to break even or do I want to see what it does, right? It bounced exactly up where you bought it at the first time and it went back up. And then here, as you see, it supported the trend on the way down. So if you look, it's never been this high, right? So even if I mark all this up, I don't think it's going to go back down there. So, you want to mark up around this area to get this information to over here, okay? So I'm going to mark up over here so you get the information. On the left of your chart is where you start, like I always say, and then you take it to the right of your chart. So it's about this area right here. So you see, all I did was look over here, right? So this is the resistance right here, support right here, resistance. Remember, resistance is at the top, so it's like the candle struggling to get above here. Support here, support here, support here, resistance right here. Go straight across, right? The body of the candle is up here, right? The support is right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. Go straight across. You see how it's still lined up? The resistance right here, support right here. The bodies of the candle want to close above. Well, not really close above, but it's up here now. Go straight across. we look at the candle, the current day of the market, right? Boom, resistance right here is like perfectly aligned, support right here, resistance right here. And we did all that from marking this up. And we got all that information for our investment for the future. So we're gonna do the same thing, okay? So we're gonna I'm looking at like this area right here, okay? So I got the resistance right here, support right here, support right here, support, resistance, come across, resistance, support, resistance right here, support, resistance, right? So try to get above here again. It closed below where you needed to get to, and then it went back down, okay? So that's another thing. So, and then we'll do it one more time just so you see it from over here. So we got these wicks is what I went off of, the wicks, and then kind of right here, but I need more touches. So we got the wicks over here, the support right here, the support, resistance, support right here also, and then resistance. See how it's perfectly aligned? All the way right here, and all I did was look all the way over there, and it did it right here perfectly also. So if you have your charts marked up, you will know when to jump into your coins, when to jump out of your coins, and when to make your, your smarter investment. Also, we have it right here, also these resistance at the top. Come across here, resistance. You see, it's all bodies of the candle. I didn't even have to open it, but I already know it's wicks. Bodies of the candle below it, wicks, resistance, hard to get above, so it starts to fall back down. But that's how I would look at this. And then, like I said, if we had 10 different coins we would look at, I would do this real fast, see what I see, go to the next one. So I'm not telling anybody to rush this process, but it's very important to learn this process.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you're on TradingView, I saw that you were using the daily, but at the bottom, do you use the year or 6 months or the range? What range do you use?
Oh, I just leave it how it is. I don't even touch this.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I don't touch it at all. Because you want as much information as possible. Because, like, if I go back only for a year, it really depends. All right, think about it, right? Say, what if a stock did a reverse split or a stock split, Then that information from the past ain't really going to add up the same way. It's not going to look the same. So it all depends on how much information. Like I said, I could go all the way back with Tesla, right? But what I'm going to do that for when it never been this high before, It's pointless to mark all this up, down here because it's all the way up here now, So like I said, I know for a fact Facebook is now with the metaverse, so it's always going to be something different. And also, remember, Facebook is with Oculus. They bought Oculus, so like I said, I just bought the little thing myself. But now they have that platform, so, they're heavy into the metaverse. It's actually no longer Facebook. It is Meta. That's the name of their platform, that Meta platform.
Okay.
So that's why it's important to know, why you need that information, So like I said, I don't need to put this flag here, but I already see support that, that trend on the way up. But like I said, if this was a stock, let me see, let me guess, like Roblox. Roblox is fairly new. Right, so say, I would have never, say if I didn't go back to June, right, just for example, right, this is where the current stock is, right, is at $102, right? So back in June, the high was $103. Now, show you an example, right, of how to get this good. So I could say, all right, so either $103, $104, right, $103, but I want to get as many touches as possible. So instead of me picking one of those wicks, I need the body, which is more important. So now I have 1 wick, 2 wick, the body, and this wick, right? So I'm going to mark this up on the left and then go to the right of the chart. So you see the difference. So see what you need, right? So I know here, I got this resistance right here, right? I got this wick to go above. But if you only seen it from this, you would have never known the earnings was bad, and right after the earnings, it went up. But this was the prior resistance as far as the high. So I will also mark up this level here about this level because I see a lot of resistance right here. So this wick, the bodies of this candle come across, the bodies of this candle, there's nothing here because it's never been that level, right? So we got to go from all the way across from this big green day, and then you get this support right here, and then you get this support right here. So you're using the left of the chart to get all your information for the future movement of the chart. So if a stock has been this high before, and then it kind of plateaued and started going in consolidation, going to the right, not really moving that much, you need to know the prior information so to see where you're going to close it out. Okay, so like I said, all this is resistance right here. I'll mark that up too. But once the stock started kept going, I'm like, okay, cool. I need to get to about this area. Once you go above here, which is also right here, you see right there, boom. Matter of fact, I just marked it up real quick. I got time. So I would say about, I'll put it about here. Put it about here, and then the first one I would have seen the resistance I would have been looking for about this area right here. Because I would have seen it, it's finally taken off, and I'm like, okay, cool. When do I jump in, or is it like a fake out, right? So now I went off of, not really this week, but this week right here, this support right here, we're going to come across. We get the resistance right here. It closed above here. Now we have this channel, closed below this here, it goes down. Now it doesn't go above here, it comes back here, it bounces off the same support line, go back down. Comes right here, closes above finally, close below this level of resistance, go down. Stay within this channel, close below it, now it's down. So the same thing here, close below this level of support, go down. Bounce off here, goes back down. Bounce off here, consolidates, goes back down. Earnings, has a bad day for earnings. The earnings means the quarterly report. It can be good news or bad news. The stock moves how it wants to. It's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It's not like guaranteed because they had a good quarter. They're going to make money that month. So it's kind of weird for that day. But then you get this big green candle and you would have looked at, okay, cool. This is the first level of resistance about really this area right here. I'm going to add that so you see it, which is about here anyway. And I'm not looking over here, even though, I did it here. I was looking right here. The level of support right here, the level of support right here. So you see that once it kept closed above the prior levels of resistance, kept going up, kept going up, kept going up, kept going up, even went all the way up here, wick-wise. So then I know, okay, cool. This is about, so look, if I seen this happen, I want to mark this as my next level of resistance, okay? And I'm going to show you why. So if this is my next level of resistance, I'll be missing a lot of information because it closed down here. So I needed, I'd rather the body than the wick, right? So since I have it on the body now, I'm like, okay, cool. I need this next candle to close above it, which it doesn't, close below it. This next candle needs to close above here, which it doesn't. It stays about this level of support, closes below here again. Then we have this next day open, opens, but it doesn't close above here. This candle finally closes above this body of this candle, and it continues to go up. So if I would have put this here, I'd have been lost in all this information in the middle. So that's why I don't go off the wicks of the candles. I go off the bodies of the candles, and that's why it gave me that indication. So I would have knew right here, this is a future entry date for a call option. Once it closes above here, it's going to go up. Same thing here. We have this wick, body, wick, body. So now I know this is a future price target. So that's what I'm saying. So you want to use the left of your chart and your left candles to get your future price entries and your target prices. So that's how you get that information for your investments. So like I said, there's no guessing at all. It's really learning this stuff, getting the information, and utilizing it as best to make smart investments. So that's why I always mark up plays for the way up and down, calls and puts. So like I said, I'm not going to say it's easy to make $1,000 a day, but it's easy to make $1,000 a day if you know what you're doing versus just gambling in the market. So when I mark up my charts, and I do that on the live chat in the mornings in the Discord, and everybody's like, bro, how'd you make $3,000 that fast? And I'm showing them live, like, look, this is why it is. I need to just get to this price. When it does that, it's going to do this. And it starts to make sense to people. Then it's like, okay, cool, that $1,000 a day, it sounds too good to be true. Then it becomes more realistic. So now you're making $250,000 a year passive income just from your investments.
Okay. One more question.
Yeah.
How did you get the name of the stock on the screen in the background?
Oh yeah, so that's all with the parents, right? So that's another thing too. Let me show you. So let me see the parents. Is it the scale? It's the watermark. Take this off. See the watermark.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, like straight up your chart is all personal preference. At first I didn't like that, and then after a while I was like, yeah, it makes me, it makes it easier for me to remember what stock I'm on versus I know it's just looking up here being kind of lazy, but with it being in the middle of my chart and the time frame is there too, so it's easier for me to see stuff.
Gotcha.
But hopefully this stuff is making sense to y'all. If I need to go over anything again, please let me know. But hopefully y'all learning something here and y'all see how this investment stuff. It's not easy because I don't want to lie and say it's easy. But if you really study and learn this stuff, it's not hard. It shows you a better way to maximize your investment. I'm going to show you another example for y'all for MicroStrategies. Now, MicroStrategy moves with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin did really well over the weekend, and Bitcoin usually does well. I'm going to tell you the trick with Bitcoin. So from Friday or Thursday night and Friday morning to about Sunday midday, and then it starts to go back down. That's because overseas, Friday is earlier than America, and Monday is earlier than America. So that's why, Thursday and Friday early morning, they're cashing out or they're buying their crypto and getting in and out their trades. And then Sunday is their Monday, so they done made their money over the weekend. They're jumping out. But for us, it's the same day. So that's why you see a lot of fluctuation over the weekends in crypto. You see it go up beginning of the weekend, and then it goes back down before the weekend finishes. That's why. But MicroStrategy moves with Bitcoin. So if I know this moves with Bitcoin and it's down $40, I could have made $4,000 on this investment, which is, I'm not going to lie to you, it's very expensive to get into, one of these type of call options. But I will close it out to see how it's doing, right? This was the peak of it. It went from, about $181 all the way up to $1,313.59, and within a month, 2 months, and that was when Bitcoin went back on that crazy bull run. But then Bitcoin crashed, right, about May, and you see here is that, February, then we had the May, March, then we had the May, and then it kind of went back up, and then it kind of, so we see that, So now we're like, okay, cool. Is this a good time to get into investment? Oh, it's only going down. But imagine if you got a put option right here where it peaked out, right? Or, because you probably would never see that, right? That wouldn't be the one you would see. I'll click on horizontal line. I would see here, because this is where the body of the candle is, right? So I'm going to say, okay, it went to $1,313, $1,313, and then it came down. This is the body of the candle. It opened here, went up here to the same resistance level, right? And then it came back down. Oh no, I'm tripping. I'm saying 1313. It went to 1313. And then the candle closed at about 1193. So it came back to this level and then closed below and it kept going down. So you could have said, okay, this is where it closed at. This is where it peaked out at. Then you see here, right? The red is the sellers, the green is the buyers. A lot of people stopped buying this and they started selling it, okay? Then the amount of sellers increased in this volume. So you start to see that. So I could have said, okay, if resistance is right here and it's closing below, and then it has to stay above this level and it closed below, which is the future. So it's kind of cheating on the chart to see this information, but that's the only way to break it down because it has this big wick. I could have got it on the way down from $1,195 and just rolled it on the way down because it all it did was kept going down, and went down to about this resistance level right about here. So I'm gonna say it went, good Lord, it went down $700. Now, if it goes up $1 or down $1, that's $100 per contract. So guess how much money you would have made if a stock moves $700, and you make $100 every single time. So that's the type of money you can make an option trade. Okay. Yes, about 70,000 on the way down. And you would have seen it kept going below the levels of resistance and support that it needed to. So it kept going down lower than the support levels, kept going down. You could have made $70,000 within, let's see, this is February 10th to about February 10th to March 5th. So less than a month, $70,000. So, like I said, that's why it's so important to learn the charts for your investments. It's not fast money, it's good money. But if you don't really learn how to do this, you're not going to make any money. Another example, right? So that's MicroStrategy that moves with Bitcoin. Well, Coinbase is a publicly traded company now. So their ticker is Coin. That was also on the watch list today because I know crypto, like I told you, from Friday to Sunday it moves up usually, right? And then back to Sunday evening and Monday it goes down. So I know Coin was going to start going down, and right now it's Tuesday. Coin is down $18, right? Roughly $19, $18.94, so roughly $19. With the right amount of options, or there's one good option on there, you could have made $1,800 today off one play on the way down. So when people ask me, why do you do calls and puts? Why do you mark both? It's because you never know. You want to get all this information. And what I see right here, I'm going to show you from all these wicks, right? If I would have seen this, right? So I would have seen these wicks, right? And I'm not going to the top of the wick. I'm going to this one right here. So this is the shortest one, and I want to get the most touches, even with the wicks, right? So the most touches with the wicks, this is the support for this one. It closed below here. Struggle to get above here. Body of the candle didn't close above here. Wicks here, closed below here. So I would have said, okay, it needs to get above here, roughly, right? This is the last resistance line, right? Resistance line becomes new support. So it got to above here before, so I would have did this, right? I'm going to show you exactly how I would have marked up a call option or a put option on this, which was on the watch list today. So I used the horizontal raise, and I would have said I need to close above the body of this candle and some of these wicks. So I would have got about the middle, about this level right here. So I would have said at 347.17, if it closed above here, you do a call. And this would have been, if it closed below here, we do a put. But to even give you more, something to see, I would have did above about here, let's say about here. Yeah, that's the level right here. That's right here. That's right there. So I just want y'all to see exactly how to look at it. So I would have said at 341, I would have did a put option. Then you would have got it from 341 to $330. So you would have never got the whole 18, but you would have got 11. So you would have got $11 on the way down. You would have made $1,100. So that's exactly how I market my call and put options. That's how I pick my stocks because I know how the market moves. I know what moves with which market. So I'm going off of that, and I'm taking advantage of adding all this information together for an investment. But that's how I look at all this stuff, okay? And hopefully y'all learned something. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. As somebody that's super new to this, could you show me how to look at, like, I know that you provide the call and the put, but how do we actually execute that on a trading platform? I just want to see how you do it. I'm sure I could guess, but.
Yeah, so, all right, the only thing with that is I have to actually show my account and stuff like that, and, I'm not actually going to do that, but I can show you the steps. I'm going to have them in the Discord step-by-step how to do it and have everything blocked out. So if I was actually going through it step by step, I'll block out everything. I'll save it on TikTok as far as the video step by step, and then I add to the Discord so you have it step by step like I was doing the trade. So it's easier to see. But literally the entire time you're doing the trade, you're looking at your charts. You're not looking at the price of the stock go up and down.
Right.
What platform do you use for your stocks or options?
So with stocks and options, the best platform is TD Ameritrade. By far is the best platform. The beginner platform is obviously Robinhood. Everybody knows about Robinhood. And then the level up of Robinhood is Webull. So those are the 3 platforms that I recommend to people that's trying to learn this stuff.
What was the first one you said?
So it's TD Ameritrade. So TD Ameritrade. Webull will be next, and the lowest one is Robinhood, but it's the easiest platform to utilize and to learn and practice with.
On TD, right, you have to have like a limit, like 25K on there to do options.
So with the limits, right? Good thing you mentioned that. So with the options, if you don't have over 25,000 in your account, you can't do a certain amount of day trades within your account. So you're limited to 3 per day. Well, per week, per trading week. But if you have over 25,000 in your account, you can do small trades and let those add up.
Got you.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. You just can't have a margin account.
Yeah, no, definitely you don't want to use nobody else's money. You want to start off small, and when you take those small losses with your own money, it makes you want to learn how to trade a little faster, a little better, because when you use the margins and you're winning, it looks amazing, but when you're losing with the margins, you're losing money on top of your money, you're losing somebody else's money, and you want to do as many small, smart trades as possible. So that's why we say, there's ways. I mean, you could build your account up to 25,000, doing small trades, you don't need to get it at 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, give it time. But once you understand, once you got 25,000 in your account, you can do day trades nonstop. You can do small trades and build your account up. You don't have to get $1,000 on each trade. You can do 10 small trades and make $100, and jump in and out your trades. And even when you got 25,000 in your account, you still don't want to use that 25,000. You want to use a small portion of that money, but even with the 25,000, the 25,000 is just the base in your account. You want to throw an extra 1,200 or something like that just to do your trade, so you never go under 25,000 again.
So those of us who are beginners, it's starting with just those 3 trades a week and a small amount, and just working our way into the 25,000 territory where we can do day trades, right?
Yeah, same rules always apply. Only invest what you can afford to lose. That way you're not stressing the money. The best thing about what's about to happen in the next 2-3 months is we're all about to get income taxes. I started all this stuff that I have going for myself now. I started with my stimulus check. I took that $1,200 and I learned how to lose money and I learned how to get it back over time. But I definitely lost a lot when I first started. So that's why the Discord is so important, because we try to show you how to avoid those mistakes within the Discord. So like I said, it's easy for me to just post buy this at this time and do that, but learning how to get into your trade and jump out of your trade and why you jump out of your trade is what's mostly important. And that's why I'm so big on the charts for everybody.
Hey, Kwame, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
On Amazon, is that a double bottom starting now, or because I see the formation look like a W starting?
Let's go pull it up. So it kind of, it honestly.
And that's on the daily.
Yeah, it's on the daily. So look, right. So you would have seen the M right here, right? You would have seen the double top, the neckline right here, and then you would have got this, which is the earnings. You can't prepare for the earnings. Earnings is never know. It could look like it's setting up, and then boom, take off the other way. Same thing here. So always make sure you pay attention to the earnings. But as you see here, this is a W, right? This is the neckline right here. Right, you want to touch it. So let me see. Mark this up real quick. So this is the neckline. You want to get as much touches as possible, right here, right, and then close above here. Continue to go up, and then you're like, okay, cool. Where's my next level at, right? So I'm looking at this, right? I'm not even looking over here. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. So we got the resistance right here, all resistance. Close above. Finally, take off. Go crazy. Close below it, keep going down. Finally close above it, go up. Stay within this channel, don't close above it, go down. Don't close above it, go down. Resistance right here, wick right here, finally close above it, all the way up here. Now you got all that information for your trade from this one resistance line we just put up there. That's why it's so important. And not just that, look, it bounced the wick, boom. Wick right here, bounced off the wick, went back up. So you get all that information if you mark your charts right.
Okay.
Like I said, that's just two little measly lines on the chart, but you get a lot of information, you know, if you just take your time and mark it up right and just have it ready. A lot of my stuff I took off for the class, but I leave my charts marked up. And I don't mark my charts up at night. I do it in the morning because at 4 o'clock in the morning on Webull, people could buy stocks. They can't buy options at 4 in the morning, but they can buy stocks. So the market starts to move early in the morning. If I mark it up at night, and then in the morning, the price done moves a lot. Now I got to adjust every single one. So I just get the list ready of stocks that I think I'm going to use. I do that, and then I mark the charts up in the morning on the live chat at 9 o'clock, and then I put all the plays out there, everybody live, and then as for live, I'm like, look, okay, this is moving this way, this is moving this direction. You might want to look at this, and then I make sure I let everybody know it.